Let's move on to exercise 2B on page 73. And I want to have a look at question 3. Now, question 3, what it asks us to do is to write a percentage as a decimal. So let's go straight to part A. And part A is 6.78%. Now, if we remember back to our table, that then becomes 6.78 because we've got two decimal places over 100, and 6.78 divided by 100. Let's have a look at our calculator. Clear that out. So we've got 6.78 divided by 100. It's going to equal 0.0678. Equals 0.0678. Okay, so what we've actually done is just move the decimal point 2 places across this way, and that's given us our answer. So let's go to part B. In part B, just move this up out the way. Part B, in question 3, part B is 3.1%. 3.1%. And 3.1% means 3.1, oops, pen playing up again, out of 100. Again, we shift the decimal point 2 places to the left, so the answer becomes 0.031. So there we have it, expressing a percentage as a decimal, just putting it over 100 and moving the decimal place 2 places to the left. Now let's have a look at an instance where it's over 100%, so part C, and it's 162% expressed as a decimal. It's exactly the same procedure. It's 162 over 100. Okay, and that's going to be 1.62. Let's see if we can clear up some of this, get rid of that, some of that. So with a number greater than 100, still over 100, and that's how we're going to put it there. So let's move on to the next one. Next one I want to have a look at. Let's move to here, move this down a bit. I want to have a look at 3H. Now 3H is 3%. Expressed as a decimal, becomes 3 over 100, exactly the same process, 3 over 100. Move the decimal point 2 places to the left, so that can be 0.03. Then let's have a look at 3K. 3K, where it says 0.115%, 1155%, and that's going to become 0.1155 over 100. Okay, we divide that by 100, and we'll find that becomes, moving the decimal point, of course, 2 places to the left, that becomes 0.001155. Now we could have put a comma there or a space every 3 digits. Doesn't like that. Generally now we put a space without a comma. Not fussed with it if you use a comma, as long as you put them in groups of 3, no real problem. So that's question 3. Then we want to move on to question 4. Now question 4 is a decimal, expressing a decimal as a percentage. Question 4, the first one, part A, let's move this down a little bit, give us a bit of room. Decimal as a percentage, part A. Then we've got 0.71, 0.71. Now we know that that's really 71 out of 100. And 71 over 100. So we know that's going to be 71% because you just multiply it by 100 or shift the decimal point, which is the same as shifting it 2 decimal places to the right. So it equals 71%. Then we'll have part B. And part B is 0.28. 0.28 multiplying it by 100. We know that's going to equal 28%. Straightforward. Then part C. Part C is 0.05. 0.05. Multiplying it by 100 moves the decimal point 2 places to the right, so that becomes 5%. Then let's have a look at part N. Okay, part N, 0.23 is multiplied by 100, 2 places across to the right. Again, so it goes from there to there, from there to there, so it equals 23%. And that's question 4, which is pretty straightforward. Let's go on to question 5. Let's get the right pen. Question 5. Oh, doesn't like that. Let's move down to here. Question 5 doesn't like us being all the way back up there. So let's go to question 5. And question 5 is expressing a decimal as a percentage. So we've got a decimal. As a percentage, which what we're doing in reality is multiplying by 100. Take a decimal and express it as a percentage, multiplied by 100. So let's go to part A. Part A is 0.369. 0.369. And you multiply it by 100, which means you move the decimal point 2 places to the right. So that becomes 36.9%. Let's go to part B. Let's go to part D. No point part B, it's pretty simple. Excuse me. So then that's 0.81. Right, so you're going to multiply it by 100, move the decimal point 2 places to the right, becomes 81%. Well, this is pretty straightforward. So let's move down and have a look at part J. Part J has a couple of more decimal places in it. So we're still going to multiply it by 100, but it's 0.005. So that becomes multiplied by 100, 0.005 times 100, which means we move the decimal place 2 places to the right, 1, 2. So the answer is 0.5%. 0.5%. Let's clear out some of this. Doesn't want to clear out. So we've moved the decimal point 2 places to the right. We can move down a little further. We'll go to part K. Part K. Part K says 0.24461. 0.24461, and that needs to be multiplied by 100. Times 100 means that you move it across to the right 2 places, 1, 1. So that's going to equal 24.46, going to 2 decimal places, cent. So we've still done the same thing, moved it 2 decimal places to the right. Then let's go part M, see what that says there. 4.71. Now 4.71, I should say 4.17. Can't read properly. Okay, we're still going to multiply it by 100. Going to multiply it by 100. So that becomes 2 places to the right. And we know that 1 is 100%, so therefore 4.17 has got to be 4 times 100. So it's going to be 417%. Now I want to have a look at question 7. Now, question 7, what we're asked to do is to express or write the fraction as a percentage. Now, this is just taken from the table that we did in the overview, but we'll go through a couple anyway. We'll go to part A. So, change our pen. Part A, we're asked to do 5/8 as a percentage. What that really means is 5 divided by 8 multiplied by 100. Now, you don't need the brackets because the order of operations, division and multiplying, can just be done from the left. So if we go to our calculator, 5 divided by 8, 0.625. Pen equals 0.6625 multiplied by 100. And multiplying by 100, we shift the decimal point 2 places across to the right. So then that becomes 62.5%. We can then have a look at another one. It's part A. Let's have a look at part E, which is an interesting fraction, part E. And what that is there is 11 over 125. We're still going to do exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing because it's a process that we're learning. So that equals 11 divided by 125